Hello, I'm Rachel from Douentza Garden in Ireland, and today's video is an unboxing of bare root plants. These are shade loving, gorgeous, hardy outdoor plants which I will pot up today and keep in the greenhouse over winter. And also I've received a box of potting composts. So I've been waiting a while for this order to come, so I just can't wait to dig in there and see what it's all about. As you can see, I haven't opened it yet, but we are just gonna dig right in there. If you are new to the channel, you are very welcome. And I will start by letting you know that I garden in what roughly equates to as hardiness zone 9. Although we don't use that system here in Ireland, so just take it as a rough guide of what I might be able to get through the winter or might not. Anyway, today we're dealing with an unboxing, and I really cheat here because both of these have their have the tops open. I guess I'll start off with the potting mixes, and this has come from a company called Botanica that have sent me beautiful sphagnum. So I've ordered this sphagnum for a particular project which I will share with you quite soon, and gorgeous, lovely looking stuff it is. Also I have some other mixes in here, and this one is called Ficus Mix. So it's a pre-mixed compost for various house plants, and that's the great thing about Botanica, that everything is pre-mixed, so you have to do very little work. No looking up what you need to mix together to make your house plants happy. The work is done for you. So if you want to check out Botanica, there's a link in the details of this video, and there's a code there where you will get a 5% discount if you order from them. But more to the point, and very excitingly, is this order from Lithuania, and this comes from a company called August Bulbs, which I've ordered from several times in the past and have not been disappointed. So there's just some newspaper to start with. And the first thing I see here is something shoved down the side here. Uh-oh. Is that money? Okay, so 10 euros and some change. This surely means that not everything in my order could be fulfilled, which is a terrible pity. And this must be the details. Okay, we'll come to that in a minute. Okay, let's get stuck in. Nothing in there. Nothing in there. And here we are with anemones. Now, I absolutely love wood anemones. They are one of my joys of spring, and I have various ones, but it would be so great to have a bit of collection going on, which is why I've ordered this one here called Blue Eyes. So it's a beautiful white double anemone that has a blue center, and anemones are great for being the understory on trees. A little mass of gorgeous flowers in spring is just a fantastic thing. And there we have the root. See the root and see the growing tip just there. So I'm not going to put this directly in the ground. I'm going to pop this up, and hopefully it will get going soon. So that's Blue Eyes, and let's just be careful here with keeping everything in the correct bags. Okay, next one is Green Fingers, and this one has an interesting presentation. So it's white again, single flowered this time, and the center of each flower has a mass of of green. I'm not quite sure if it's stamens or what, but it looks absolutely lovely. And again, here we go. So bigger bit of root this time, and you can see at least one growing tip down here. So let's be careful of that. There's a third wood anemone. I told you I liked them. So this is a double white called Brittlearia plana, and plana being the double element of it. And this one has a kind of green layer of outer petals, which makes it very interesting and yeah, very unusual. So we're just having a look in here. And again, I think we have 2 growth points here at the tip of this root, which is great news. Next up we have an Erythronium, and this one is called Joanna, a lovely soft yellow colour. Now Erythroniums are a North American woodland plant that grows like the wood anemone, great as an understory on deciduous trees. And I fell in love with this a few years back when they were in a garden near here, Jimmy Blake's. And here we have a really quite decent sized bulb, which I'll pot up and get going. So that's Erythronium Joanna. Well, I did mention that a lot of these were woodland plants, and then we move on to trilliums, again from North America, and I just so love trilliums. If you live in North America, they might be a common sight in woodlands, in forests in spring, but here they are a very choice plant, and only the best gardens have them. So this is my attempt to rank among the good gardens. So this is Rugeli Eye, and both of the trilliums that I bought are actually white. The flowers are white, 3 petals, because everything on trillium presents in 3s, as we know. And I think the flowers on this are a little bit recurved, a little bit cup-like. I'm going to put that just there and have a look in here. And we have a single Brittlearia Persica. Now this is the Persian Brittlearia. I suppose it comes from Iran then, if it's got that name. And these have bell-like racemes of dark brown flowers. A very, very nice bulb that needs a summer baking to come back again. So what very often happens with these is you plant them up and you get a lovely show the first year and then they're gone. Well, in my part of the world anyway. But it's a good bulb, and I think this is one I might keep in a pot. And Brittlearias really do have a distinctive smell, don't they? So moving on to arums, and these are stinky plants. So this one is Rubicola, and it has it's called purple flag. So it's got a kind of tall spathe, which is dark red in colour, and I love these stinkers. Now I think this is the one that is hardy, so I should be able to plant it in the garden eventually, but not just now. What? It just seemed to have a little cap on it. So there we go. And that's a nice bulb which I will enjoy potting up. I'll put it in a deep pot because As far as I recall, many arums need a deeper root run. Here's another arum, and this is goridis, which I think is called the spotted arum. It comes from, well, I think a lot of them come around Turkey way. Oh, and there, is that in active growth or what? There's a second one. Well, that's nice. It's always nice when you order one and you get two. These are in very much active growth, and yeah, so exciting. And they can have splotches on them. So again, a stinker, again with the splotches and the spathe-like flower that looks very dangerous. I like dangerous. Here's my second trillium, and this one is also white flowered, but both are white. And this is just really my attempt to get a bit of a trillium collection going in the garden, because I don't have very many varieties at all. And okay, I feared that the plant had been stapled through, but it has not. And again, lovely plant, look at that. And this is why I order from August Bulbs. Nice, nice. So what else have we got? We have a, oh, peony. Yes, a species peony. And this one has beautiful single pink, lilac-y pink flowers, and maybe you don't know it, but what you might know is the one that generally goes by the name of Molly the Witch, fondly known as Molly the Witch. I think the subspecies name is Eye or something. I've gotten that wrong, so apologies, but it's actually difficult to grow, and I've tried Molly the Witch twice before and not succeeded, so obviously, you know, I have to have a third go. So out you come. Ooh. Oh, nice, 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 nice. Look at that. Look at that for growth points. How many have we got? We've got 1, 2, big one, 3, one round the back, 4, little one at the front, 5, a nice plant that I will pot up. I'll need a wide pot for it though, because look how the rhizome lays. It's kind of sideways, and yeah, and I'll have to be careful not to plant it too deeply. I think like a maximum of 3 centimeters from the growth to the top of the soil. And then finally, little teeny tiny package, and these, believe it or not, are tulips. Okay, so these are a tulip known as Sporangii. Well, actually, they're not exactly Sporangii. So August Bulbs has them listed as Sporangii, which stands for Affinis Sporangii, which means this is so close to the species Sporangii that we're going to call it Sporangii. And the thing about this tulip is that it is very late flowering, so it flowers in June. It's the latest of the tulips to flower, and it's red and kind of goblet shaped flowers, a bit like lily flowered ones, but it is of course a species. And I have been after this tulip for a very long time, even tried growing it from seed this spring. I wanted it so much because we all know how very, very long tulips will take to get to flowering size when you grow them from seed. Now, I ordered more than this, and I see from the note that August Bulbs gave me that they didn't have the full whack in stock, so they gave me my money back for the remainder, which is a pity, but this being a species tulip, I can expect it to expand and to spread and to make new bulbs over time, so that is very, very good. Whoops, let's just pop these back in here, although there's no danger in mixing these up with anything else because they are quite different. And I guess let's go and pot some of these up now. It's getting a bit blustery out here at the moment, so I'm going to take these into the greenhouse and pot them up in there. It's really blowing up out there. It's relief to get in here actually. Okay, first up I'm going to plant up the peony, and I'm just going to use a regular potting mix, all-purpose potting mix, which I have in the trug here, just breaking up any bits. This is peat free, and I think I put a tiny little bit of sand in there because that's kind of what I had left over from the last job I was doing. And I'm going to use a nice big pot. So this pot comfortably accommodates the peony, as we can see. And you shouldn't put peonies in pots that are too small for them. But this one is just going to be planted out in spring anyway. It's not going to stay in there for very long, but still, all the same. Okay, so I'm going to start off by putting some of the mix at the base of the pot. And now we're going to see if that is the correct depth. Just place the peony on here. And I think that's probably right. Now, there's always a problem with peonies. Can you see there how some of the eyes are higher than others? So when we say 3 centimeters above, you bury to 3 centimeters above the eye, like where do you judge from? The top eye or the lowest eye? And I would say actually you need to cover the highest up, the top eye, because you don't want to leave it exposed. It's very important with herbaceous peonies like this one, or intersectional peonies, that you don't bury them too deeply. The maximum burying depth should be 3 centimeters or 1 inch. If you do bury them deeper than that, then you may find they don't flower. I do have a video on dividing and planting herbaceous peonies, which I'll link to at the very end of this. Next up, let's deal with the wood anemones. First up, we have blue eyes. I'm just going to empty this mix right in here with what I already have. Take a pot, and I'm actually going to bury this like that so that the eye is at the top. So I guess we're going to put it in at what might be referred to as a jaunty angle, because if it goes straight up it's going to be too tall for the pot, so it needs to go in a little bit sideways. And I'm just going to put some of the mix in here first, then put my blue eyes in like that, then fill, put a bit more behind him, and more and more. Give it a bit of a shake, a bit of a pat. Want to cover him up, and there he is. The next one is Bractea plana. Whew. He's got 2 eyes, always handy. Pot. We'll put this guy in, something like that. Now when these get watered, it may be that a hole appears in the potting mix, so then they have to have the mix topped up. Just firming ever so slightly, but making sure I don't touch wherever that wood anemone is. Green fingers, which is kind of interesting. And you can see here that there is actually a third eye just here. See that? There's one here and there's one here. So we're just going to use the same pot. Okay, so these actually come apart like that, and I am going to put them in the same pot because I know they're the same kind. I'm going to try and put them in the same pot. Okay, that is green fingers. That kind of brings me to the end of the video. I think that's probably enough. You've endured enough of me potting. Did you want to see some of the others being potted up? They're mostly bulbs, and how we normally pot bulbs tends to be 3 times their height. So yeah, I guess no mysteries there. Thank you as always for watching, and if you've ordered bare root this autumn, let me know what it is. I always love to hear what other people get, and it gives me ideas for next year. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.